So the Zeitgeist means roughly the spirit of the time, or the overall intellectual, political, and cultural climate of a particular time or historical era. For most of the development of psychology, positive psychology didn't necessarily fit into the zeitgeist of the times. The only time that positive psychology could have fit into a certain zeitgeist was along the same route of William James, if that specific spirit of the times had become a prominent intellectual and cultural climate, but it didn't. Functionalism did not become the prominent, and it got quickly taken over by psychoanalysts. And then positive psychology didn't fit with any of the zeitgeists from then until the humanistic approach. And then finally positive psychology fit in with that zeitgeist of that time with humanistic approach, which kind of allowed positive psychology to become its own entity a few decades later. But without that specific turn of events where humanistic approach became a prominent intellectual and cultural era of psychology, positive psychology may have not taken off, just like it didn't with psychoanalysts and behavioralists. It was the opposite of what everyone was thinking and the cultural beliefs of the time, so positive psychology wasn't even considered, regardless of the fact that the basis of positive psychology has existed for thousands of years. In my opinion, I think there was a level of a lack of need for positive psychology. In early 20th century America, religion and Christianity was still so prominent and strong in our culture that I feel that many people relied on religion and faith in their country and their culture, and identified so much with those two things as like sources of positive reinforcement, aside from the wars. But as a culture, as a country, they kind of unified, and I feel that they were getting their positive influence, even though it was a really difficult time, they were getting their positive influence from alternate sources, without thinking about it at all. It wasn't really a consideration of, where is my source of happiness and life satisfaction coming from. It's just a different culture and a different era of time that I'd have to do more research, but I don't believe that they really would have taken very well to positive psychology, and or it was such a difficult time that the idea of promoting happiness and positive thinking and positive well-being would have almost been laughed at, because it was such a difficult, hard period of time in American culture that it would have been laughed at. No one wanted to be told how to be happy when so much was going on and so much hurt and pain and suffering. I think at some point people want to just live in the grief and the pain a little bit, but that's a personal opinion, personal evaluation.